today we're going to get in here and we're going to remove these, or I'm going to remove this, find out why it's not installed properly. I may or may not remove that just to clean underneath it. We'll see. And I got to put somebody who can't stay out of trouble in their crate. All right, let's go ahead and get this removed. I don't know why. It's just so random. It seems like I remember putting this in, but I think I just tacked it in for, I don't remember. Yeah, it's been 6 years ago. Guys. Okay, it's doing something over here, but I cannot do it over there, so let me tiptoe way over here. Alright, I'm gonna run into a problem because this piece of paneling right here is keeping it. I could probably pull it out in the middle and snap it back in. Bow it. I'm gonna have to bow this out because that's keeping it from coming out and that down here is keeping it. So let's try to bow it. See how it bows real easy? Okay, there it goes. Wow, that was simple. That was like held on with a prayer. Let's see what it looks like. It's shimmed, which you have to do that. And it's not that dirty. It really isn't. Let me get you. It is really not that dirty. I mean, there's some dust and stuff under here. I'll vacuum all that out. Now the floors are not finished up to here. But I don't see any roaches. Let me get my light. I can't see anything. My word. All right, it's not bad. It's dusty, and we got one dead beetle. I can deal with the beetle, but I don't see any roaches. Yes. Get over here. Looks good. That is a drop of polyurethane. That is a glom. That is a glom of polyurethane. I have to scratch that out. And the rest of it looks good. Let's go down here. Looks good. I got a couple of centipedes, an ant, I think. Let me see what that is. Some sawdust, which isn't good. But for the most part, a dead ant and a centipede I can deal with. But no roaches. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to vacuum this and wipe it down and somehow get that. I don't know why that board was not up, or the kick plate was not up. That was interesting. Alright, so let me go do this. Alright, I have my lights turned on. I have strip lighting underneath my counters. And so I got it turned on over here. And I'm going to try to do something with the white balance. Let's just vacuum. I got in there as far as I could. I don't know why this was just floating in there. I'm trying to round this up here because it goes like that. All right, so I got that done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just wipe this down and I'm going to tack it up. Now remember, these floors are unfinished, so when they dry, they're just going to look dusty again. And I need to get that big drop of polyurethane off. Normally I would go ahead and spray, but I don't want to have to leave the house right now. It's too early in the day. I just wish there was a way I could take this off and then reach inside and get it all cleaned out, you know. That's a big hole. Some more polyurethane. And there we go. Alright. So let me get my... That is a chip in the floor. There we go. This should help the kick plate sit flush. There we go. There we go. Done. Now that those 2 drops of polyurethane are up, hopefully the kick plate will sit flush on the floor. I just wish I could get behind those and vacuum. Oh, I wish I could, but just let it go. Now let's get this kick plate off and clean under here. Alright, let's get over here. This also has lighting. There we go. As you can see, it's just LED lights. And this is where I spilled all that bacon grease. So what I'm going to do is pull this off, which it's on here pretty good, and clean underneath that, spray, and seal it up better. Go ahead and release the caulk over here. I don't know how I'm going to get this out. So I'm going to try and pull these out, they'll turn up. Go ahead and take mine until I can scrape all the pop off of it. There we go. Let's go ahead and cut these out. Because like I said, if you try to pull these out, it'll tear up your material. Here. You gotta be careful when you pull it off like this. Sometimes it's snap back. Just that. There we go. Not too bad. It is not too bad. Couple of, I don't know, was that a roly-poly? A beetle? I can deal with that. just going to bend these backwards, tap them into the, because I don't care. Now, pinch myself. All right, let me get this little bitty piece right here. And then all I have to do is fix the nail holes and paint. There we go. So what I'm going to do now, I ran a small bead of caulk right here where the baseboard or kick plate meets the flooring. And I'm going to run another bead. And I'm glad that I ended up putting that one bead of caulk down there because I just got a Berkey and I wasn't sure how to use it, and I overfilled it, because this shows you where your water level is. And I overfilled it, and it's slowly, this thing seeps so slowly through these carbon filters in here. I can't get the lid off because I'm up against the cabinet right here. I'm waiting on the stand. But I overfilled it, and these filter so slow that the leak was very slow, and it pooled up on the counter, and it ran down the front of the cabinet and got on the floor. And I'm just grateful that it was just water. Water is very damaging to a wood floor, but it was minimal, and I happened to see it while it was occurring, and I was able to clean it up. But if it were like a soup or something like that, or a sauce that would have rolled underneath the cabinet, that would have created a bug problem, a mold problem, something else. But I'm glad I went ahead but I'm glad that that did not happen. So I am just going to run another bead of caulk. I don't want it to look like a bead of caulk. I want it to look like the kick plate is all the way to the floor, and you know, so there's no gaps. That's about the only way I can put it. To the untrained eye, you would never notice, but I'm just a DIY girl, so this is not a how-to, this is a how-I. So let me get down here and put that bead of caulk on and get it down here as well. I've got to go get paint, color match to the cabinets, and get these kick plates painted as well, but we're not going to do that in this video. So let's just go ahead and get this done. Alright, I think that color of light is okay for you guys. It's just really simple. It's these little strip lights you get. And there we go. How about the blue? Is that blue easier, or is the white easier on you? Well, let me try to get it white again. Well, hang on. I think the white looks better. I didn't put these strip lights in. The contractor I hired to do it, and I've got to fix them to where they're more even. So it goes all the way down. There we go. Now it looks a little bit better. I'll fix that later. That's not what this video is about. I'm going to push this flush. I don't want it to look like a bead roll down there. See, I can't even feel that at all. But man, I am so glad that that wasn't worse than it was when that leaked. So like I said, you see how I'm smashing it to go underneath the cabinet? Let me run another bead. I really want it to smash underneath the cabinet. Because you guys saw that when I took these kick plates off, just how dirty it could get. I was very fortunate that it wasn't worse than it was. I wish I could caulk like that guy I see on Instagram. I mean, he cuts a little V in there, and he bends the caulk tip and runs a perfect bead, all that stuff. And then I see some Hispanic guys, they just take a rag, put an edge on it, and just run it, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to run it. Oh, that looks better. I like that method better. Now, for those of you who may be wondering, I do not use these under cabinet lights for any other reason except for people who come over to visit who are not familiar with my house, or when my dad comes to visit. I use it as a night light because my dad's 90 years old, almost 90. All right. There we go. So here we go. I don't want a big thick bead. So when I'm not running these lights, it doesn't look so much brighter. When I paint the kick plates, I'll get the paint on the caulk as well, so it doesn't shine like it does right now. You see how the light makes the caulk brighter than the kick plate? That's just the way caulk works. And so, especially under a black light, it looks like that too. And I guess the blue in the light is kind of like a black light, and making it show up more than it would. But once I paint the kick plate, I'll run some paint on top of the caulk as well, and that way it won't shine like it is or glow like it looks like it's doing right now. All right, I'm not really worried how fat I put this bead on. I just want it on, and then I'm going to take my rag. Can you see? I hope I'm not blocking them. And smash it down in there, and then I take my rag and just keep smashing it in there underneath this kick plate. It's hard for me to get a good angle because you guys are right there. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right. I scooted you down. See, I don't want a big fat bead of caulk. I want it very subtle, very thin. I want it to just keep debris and liquids from going under the kick plate. There we go. That's what I want. That task is done. I'm going to show you something. Let me turn off these lights. See, this is just regular lighting. You can't see that bead of caulk. You just can't see it. It's not all super bright. I think that LED light may have some, I think that these LED lights probably have like a black light effect to it. But when I'm just using regular light in this house, you cannot see that bead of caulk. And I'll zoom you all the way in. I mean, you really have to get down there and look. Okay guys, that's a wrap. Quick project, easy. Everything's been taken apart, cleaned, reinstalled, caulked. I just have to finish that piece of trim over here in the corner. I got to make it match that over there. I got to get the decorative feet put on the bottom of the stove and just paint the kick plates to match the cabinets. And that's it for this part of the project. And that'll be coming up in future videos. So I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next.